Hello, and welcome to the coronavirus update video 18.0. My name's Adrian Cockings, and if you're a new time listener, welcome. This is basically an update video on all the news in Spain over the last 24 hours. I do this daily at 4 p.m. every single day, and we're already getting the mass of people starting to sign in. So what we have been saying, if you don't get a notification, set a timer on your phone at 4 o'clock every single day, or an alarm, and then you can come and join us. Go onto the page, refresh it until you see me, and then you'll know that it is live, especially. So welcome to all the returning listeners, watchers, all the love hearts that are coming in already. Thank you very, very much for this. Remember to share this video out with anyone who might not have seen this before. Yes, and thank you. I'm running low on my t-shirts. I don't want to repeat any, so I'm having to go to the back of my wardrobe to try and get some new t-shirts anyway. Anyway, if you can share this video to anyone who is new, we've been having lots of new messages coming through from new people who've said, we've just discovered you. Thank you for all the information. So if you guys can share this out to all of your friends, any of the groups that you're a part of, pages, it really helps, because I know a lot of people out there still don't know the complete information from the Spanish government, from news articles, and they're just lost. So if you can share this out with them, that would be fantastic. Okay, so today is the 2nd of April 2020, and like always, I'd like to do a quick rundown on the numbers just whilst we're waiting for everyone to come and join in. So as of today, the 2nd of April, there are 110,238 people infected. That is 8,000 over the previous day, over the last 24 hours basically, but it's still maybe looking at it leveling out. You know, it's not going much above, not going much lower, so we're just going to basically have to see if we are following this over the next couple of days. It is Thursday today, so maybe Friday and Saturday, if it is similar, then we could be at the start of the peak, but we don't know yet until we actually get some concrete figures in. As for the deaths, this is very, very sad to inform you, but in Spain, we have now reached the 10,000. As of today, from midday, basically, when they release all the figures, it was 10,003 deaths. That is 950 in the last 24 hours. It's such a big shame, it really, really is, because, you know, all of us who are putting this effort in, there are still people out there who are not abiding by the laws and the new rules, and these are the ones who are starting to get infected, and it's just not good. It's common sense. We need to stay at home, and we need to keep these numbers as low as possible. However, the recovery rate at the moment is 26,743 in total, and that is 4,000 over the last 24 hours. So 4,000 people who have been released from hospital. This is amazing. They are now recovered. They are going back home, but been researching some more figures as well. And what they have released as well is 16,000 of the people who are infected are in fact health workers. So people who work as doctors, porters, and nurses, any medical staff at all. 16,000 of these in total are infected. Now, the funny thing in Spain, they are allowed to be tested, whereas I've been getting from sources that I know who work in the NHS back in the UK, they're actually not getting tested. The workers aren't getting tested. They've just been told to go home and self-isolate for 2 weeks. Now, if this is the case, wow, that's unbelievable. Of course, you could try and see why they would want to keep the numbers down, but it's wrong. But hey, we always like to just get the figures out to you guys, because we like to keep everyone up to date as much as possible. And this is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be updating you on the last 24 hours of what has happened in Spain. I've been making a lot of different phone calls over the last 24 hours as well, and receiving phone calls as well, which I wasn't actually expecting, but I will talk you through all of it, okay? So, where do we start? So the people who have been put in hospital, these are the ones who have major symptoms of the coronavirus, and they are struggling to breathe, or maybe they have some other symptoms or previous illnesses such as asthma or something like this. But we've been getting news that some people don't think that they should be in hospital, and they've actually tried to leave hospital early, and they haven't been given the alta or the leave or anything like this, and they've actually travelled from Madrid. I mean, this is the story that was on the news. A man who was arrested in Malaga, he was taken out of hospital 24 hours prior to being arrested, and he had the coronavirus. He had proven that he had coronavirus, and they did checks on him and everything, and yet he still thought it was okay to drive to Malaga, to his second home, and try to wave it out there. No, that is not the case. And we've been getting different stories being sent to us. I don't know if these are true. These are not government official documents or anything like this, but it has been reported on the news as well that people who have got the virus, but they've just been told to self-isolate at home, these people are still going out, and they're going out to shopping, supermarket stuff. This should not be the case. You should try and get a family member or a friend or someone, you know, a neighbour, to go for you. If you think you have the symptoms, you should not be going out under any circumstances. So if you think you have the 3 symptoms of the coronavirus, which is a dry cough, consistent cough, a fever, and lack of breath or shortness of breath, if you think that you have these symptoms, you should call the number first of all, but you should put yourself in self-isolation until this passes over the 14 days as what it should be. I can't really comprehend how people can still think it's okay to go to their second holiday homes, and a lot of people have been messaging me as well saying that the apartments that weren't lived in before or not even used before, over the last week or so, they've been seeing a lot of people moving in, and they've never really known that these apartments have been lived in before. So this is probably the case of people coming from Madrid, coming from Barcelona, coming from inland and going to the coast to try and wait out the coronavirus, and this is still happening, which is crazy. You know, there would be a bit more common sense. Now, if this is the case and you see these people out, avoid them at all costs, obviously. But the police should be doing their work on this, and they should be stopping people travelling. I know they're doing really, really well with lockdowns on people trying to move to different cities and stuff like this. But I just think it's very, very selfish and very irresponsible as well. So if you guys do your part and stay at home, stay in self-isolation, that's all we should be looking for, especially. Okay, now moving on, we're going to talk about supermarkets, because again, we're still getting the new people who come to these videos and they've never watched before. Maybe they haven't watched the previous videos. Supermarkets, you have to go to your nearest supermarket. Now, a lot of people have been saying, well, I've been told that the town hall or the mayor of the town has told we can go to one that's further away and bigger. If that's been told to you, then okay. But the law or the rule is by the Guardia Civil and the police, and what they are enforcing, you need to go to your local or your closest supermarket. I know maybe some of them aren't the biggest and they might not have fresh fruit and vegetable. If you can prove this to the police as you are going to a bigger supermarket, then brilliant. But you need to go to these different ones, okay? You need to go to these local ones, okay? Be very, very careful when going out, because fines have been coming out of €2,000 or more, okay? Now remember, you should only be going one person to the supermarket. Your husband or your wife or your partner cannot take you to the supermarket. If you are unable to go to the supermarket through, I don't know, health reasons or anything like this, get someone to go for you. There are lots of people in this group especially. I'm sure if they comment right now, I'm in this town, I will be able to help. You will be able to find someone, no problem whatsoever, who will be able to go for you and bring back anything that you need, okay? So please just be very, very careful. Now, continuing on with supermarkets as well, I actually did a shop today. This is the first time in 10 days that I've been out and shopped, and it was pleasant. I went to the nearest one in my village, which is a Consume. They didn't have many fruit and vegetables, but I grabbed enough for myself and my wife, a couple of apples, different things like this, but they didn't have definitely essentials of what I would want, as in fresh tomatoes, lettuce, stuff like this. But I know I could still survive on the stuff that I've got, so it's fine, you know, it's okay. There's rules in different supermarkets as well. So this supermarket, they are only allowing about 5 people in at a time. And what they've got in a system, they've got a big board on the outside, and it's basically saying you should hand sanitize before you go in, and you should wear gloves when going in. Yet I still saw someone in that supermarket with no gloves. He didn't put hand sanitizer on, and no mask or anything as well. So I was very, very cautious of that as well. I kept my distance, and it's just, you know, common sense really. But I managed to do everything that I needed. I got about 50 euros worth of stuff, but I didn't take more than what I needed. That can last me at least 10 days, okay? So please, you don't have to panic buy or anything like this. There is still plenty out there. And I asked the woman when they normally get deliveries, and they said every Friday they normally get a big bulk of products, and it's twice a week where they're getting fruit and veg, fresh fruit and veg in as well. So good to know. Also, some supermarkets are actually starting to take temperatures as well before letting people in. So this is where a lot of people are now getting mixed messages. Under the rules, you don't have to wear a mask to go to the supermarkets. Under the rules, you do not have to wear gloves to go to the supermarkets. However, some, in fact, most supermarkets are now implementing this into their rules. To be allowed into the supermarket, you need to have some sort of protection on your hands, and you should have hand sanitizer, or they will offer hand sanitizer at the start before going in as well. These are the rules of the supermarkets, okay? It's not the rule of the government, but but they can legally decline you to enter the premises without doing what they would like, okay? So some supermarkets in Torrevieja are actually starting to take temperatures, and I can imagine over the next two or 3 days that this will actually start going out even more. On some supermarkets will start implementing this even more. Don't know if it will stick, but hey, it's just safety as well. And wow, we've got lightning above us as well. That's crazy. I'm actually going to hopefully you guys will still be there, because that's crazy how we've got lightning in there as well. So if my internet goes, I'm on my 3G, so hopefully you guys can still watch as well. Also, when I had to go to the pharmacy as well, I had to just get some medication and check up on an order. And they actually have put in place you cannot enter without a mask or gloves. Luckily enough, I did have a mask, but they are allowing makeshift masks, okay? So cloth masks where you can sew it yourself, or putting rubber bands with a cloth around, they're accepting that, as well as gloves. But fortunately, I had gloves from the supermarket, so I was allowed in. But it was very, very positive when I was in there. They had protection on there, but they actually had gloves, hand sanitizer and masks for sale. I did ask them pricing and everything as well, just to see more or less what they're charging, and if I wanted to get any. Now, they did have boxes of 100 gloves for sale, and I was very tempted to buy them. However, I thought that it could be used for someone who might need them more. Maybe someone who does have to work still, and they have to get their own safety measures. So I didn't. If they were less, maybe a pack of 10, I probably would have got them, because me and my wife, we don't go out. If it's anything, it's probably once a week. So yes, we would probably take gloves. So I didn't need to get 100. And I think if you guys are going to the pharmacies and you see gloves of a pack of 100, just think to yourself, do you need a pack of 100? Or will someone else use these, or will be able to benefit from having these gloves? Because yes, they did sell out very quickly at the start, and we don't know how quickly they can get these gloves back in for sale. So just have a think, okay? It's, again, common sense, I think. But yeah, that's basically it. Now, we've had some people asking about disinfectant, because there's been news about that a dog has died from the streets being disinfected, and rats and birds all dying. I've only seen this on one newspaper, I would call it, or a news organisation. So I've only seen this on one. I haven't seen it on any Spanish websites or any Spanish news organisation. So it's, again, very strange. I do think that if they are disinfecting, try to avoid any wet areas or puddles, okay? This is what the governments are going to be using or advising especially. So try to avoid grass if they have just disinfected, and try to avoid puddles as well. Wet puddles, this should be the main things that you should be avoiding, okay? So just keep that in mind when you are walking your dog. If you see puddles or anything like this, just try to avoid. If you can, try to stay in areas where you know they haven't disinfected. Brilliant, even better, because you should be able to see around the property or around your apartment block or something if they have disinfected, because that should be the only place that you should be walking your dog as well. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that. Right, going into the unemployment, autonomo, etc., etc. Again, we haven't got much information about how to start applying for these benefits that have been put into place. We're still trying to get something into place where we have like an instructional PDF, basically, and where and what you need to do on different websites. But some information that came out today. There are 800,000 people who have gone unemployed in the last 2 weeks. Now, this is just not the full story. You might be seeing this, and I know for a fact that BBC will be covering this, saying that unemployment is now the worst in Spain, blah, 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 and they'll do a very, very big scare tactic on this. This is not the case as a 2008 recession. This is not the case. Unemployment is the lowest it's been since 2008, but this is because we have to. It's not because the governments have, the companies have gone bust. It's not because the companies can't afford to pay. It's nothing like that. They have been put on mandatory sick leave because of the quarantine, because of the lockdown. So when you're starting to see, and I know there will be stories coming out over the next couple of days, weeks, about Spain's economy is destroyed. No, it's not the case. A lot of these big companies, car manufacturers, Seat, these are the companies that have let go about 40,000 employees, but they're not letting go. They're just putting them on temporary sick leave. As soon as the quarantine or the lockdown is lifted, they will be hired straight back because they know they will have so much production that they will need to carry on with. So yeah, just again, when you're reading news articles, just think about the main story and don't do your research, especially. It's always good to do. Right, also with the majority of the unemployed people, the majority is actually in the sector of gastronomy. So basically anyone who have restaurants, bars, cafes, touristy areas down on the coast, Almeria, Murcia, Valencia, this is the majority of the sector that has the highest unemployment rate. Now, of course, when all of this is over, I guarantee everyone in the world will want a holiday. And where are the people going to be going? Well, they're going to be coming to beautiful Spain. And this is where the tourism sector is going to thrive again, because I know that everyone will want to be out and just get out of their country, get out of their get out of their house basically, and have a week away, a fortnight away. And I guarantee there's going to be some comments on here saying, yes, I've booked my flights already, I'm coming over already. And this is going to be true. So I really think when you're viewing these numbers of the highest rate of unemployment in 10 years or 12 years, just think it's not going to be like this forever at all. It's going to be for the next couple of weeks, maybe a month the most, and then everything should be starting to get back to normal, because people will want to travel, people will want to get out and try to work as much as possible. That's what I think. That's my 2 cents, okay? There's going to be some other opinions on here, and I completely want to read your opinions. I like to have conversations about this, you know? So whatever you think, put a comment down below, especially. Right, also with employment, of course, with the unemployment going down, the highest employment at the moment are people who have to be picking fruit and vegetables. And basically, they've put out numbers. There are, at the moment, 100,000 workers in the fields picking fruits and vegetables, and it's apparently not enough. They are still after people to go and help, or to be employed to pick fruit, to pick vegetables, and plant things as well. So I thought that was incredible. So if you want to get out of the house, maybe try applying for a job in a farm or something. All right, let's move on to some more serious stuff. So today I've actually had a phone call from STV. Now, in yesterday's video, I actually had a bit of information that I shared with you guys about STV worker being fined because they were working. Now, I actually had a phone call from one of the heads of STV. Very nice guy. He wasn't angry at me or anything like this. He was actually just wanting to inform me, which is the main thing I try to do on here. I try to inform people, okay? And he just wanted to clear up things, okay? So STV, one of the biggest maintenance companies around this area of Murcia especially, they work highly on the resorts around this area, especially the old Polaris resorts too. But he just said there has not been a fine, but there has been warnings, okay? So he just wanted to clear that up. Yes, the warning was for 600 euros if they were to carry on working, but there is no fine or anything like this. So again, for the phone call today, I really appreciate it because it clears up a lot of hidden messages that we might not understand completely. But I did ask him some other questions as well about maintenance. Now, yes, STV have spoken with Guardia Civil, and he has assured me that yes, they are still allowed to maintain the grounds, but only for essential work only. So For the likes of cutting your grass weekly, no, this will probably be reduced dramatically. But for the safety of mosquitoes getting into longer grass, bugs, etc. like this, yes, they will have to keep a maintenance on it, but it's only going to be for essential work only, okay? So if you do see STV around, yes, they are allowed to work, and they have permission from Guardia Civil. From him, he has told me this himself. He's putting his workers on the line. He's putting his job on the line as well, if of course this is false information. But yes, STV will still be doing maintenance work, which is fantastic. You know, the resorts still need to have a regular maintenance, but only essential work, which I think is good. But I also asked him about swimming pools. Now, I asked him what is the case with swimming pools, what is going to be the law, has he heard anything? And yes, he has spoken. When he was speaking with Guardia Civil about this, he was told that the necessary work for pool maintenance can be included with this. As in, you can put in chemicals to the pools, and you can do brushes and maybe skimming out or taking out the skimmers just to empty them with leaves and stuff like this. The essential maintenance only, okay? So if a pool is starting to turn green, yes, it will have to be hoovered, maybe a shock treatment on it with some chlorine, but that's it. It's only essential work. So for all the pool cleaners who are out there, and many of you actually joined us yesterday when I said this. So again, if you have a friend who is a pool cleaner, tag them in the comments right now, because this information is going to be crucial for them. So if you're a pool cleaner and you are self-employed or autonomo, this means you are allowed to work, but only the essential of maintenance. Okay, this means checking the pools, checking the pumps. I know after the rain that we've had over the last couple of days, they may be high level. So yes, you can drain them. Also clearing out filters, adding in tablets, or maybe the sprinkling of chlorine as well. But it's only essential maintenance. Okay, but when you are going out, what they have been advised as well, if you're a autonomo, you need to have proof of your last 3 months' payments of your self-employment, okay? So this is the fee that you have to pay every single month to become self-employed. It's normally around the €300 mark. You have to have proof that you have paid this. So the best thing you can do, go onto your bank, download the details of the payments that you've sent out, and you would have had one over the last 2 or 3 days. So have that included as well, because that's included in the last 3. You should have your list of addresses where you have to go. And yeah, only the essential. So if you are a pool cleaner but you are not self-employed, or you are doing this illegally, you will not be able to work, you will not be able to maintain the pools. If you are caught, you will be fined straight away, okay? So yes, this is the biggest news about pool cleaning, okay? This has been confirmed by STV, but then afterwards, I didn't want to share this information directly straight away. I had a phone call, literally seconds after that phone call with STV, of a contact down in Mar Menor, and he assured me as well that he has just heard from the security on the resort that yes, this is the case and this is what they're doing. I didn't even ask him about the information or tell him this information. He told me exactly what was told by the head of STV. So this is 2 counts of people telling me that the Guardia Civil are now allowing this, but only for self-employed. So victory! We have some information, finally. And yeah, there was a comment there. Lily was crying in the background. I know, it's feeding time, so yes, she won't be on video today. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to do just a couple more things just to talk about. Fake news and also the tests that have been arriving in Spain. So the government of Spain has ordered over 1 million of these quick tests from China just to test the coronavirus. Now, of course, a lot of people have been, or a lot of the government officials have basically been slagging off the government, saying these are not correct, this is this. Again, fighting. A lot of political fighting, and it's just not good. You know, we should all be working together with this. But the information that has been coming out about these quick tests, especially, the information that's been coming out, the highest peak of testing should be around the 7-day of symptoms. So if you've had your symptoms for about 7 days, the test will be crucial around the 7-day mark. And that's when you'll be getting over an 80% positive response, or a correct response. If it's before that, 5 days or less, it's less difficult to tell, and it will be around the 65%. And if it is 8 to 10 days, then it will again go to about 65 to 70% accuracy. So again, reading this information, it's still high percentages, definitely, but yeah, it's just, will we see more numbers going up? Will we see the difference with numbers with these new quick tests or not? I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with these especially. Right, and also fake news. We've talked about so many different fake news stories that have been going out. Of course, yesterday was April Fool's, and we had lots of different stories coming through about the quarantine being lifting, about being allowed to go out driving, and these were basically jokes to try and get people to go and do these. It's horrible to hear. It really was. But the fake news that has been coming out today, and I've been saying this multiple times now, it's about the Spanish hospitals being empty, and that this is all just a big over-exaggeration. They're not they're not understaffed. They haven't got this. I'm going to stop everyone from sending this out now, and we're going to clear this up, okay? It starts off, and I can probably get the actual message up here if I can, but it's basically saying that this is an overreaction. The hospitals are empty, and they're unnecessary staff members. It's just, for someone who has friends who work in the NHS back in the UK, who has family members who work in the health service in Spain, for me to read this, it was very, very difficult, because it's something that I know that what I've been told from frontline sources, it's nothing like that whatsoever. It is chaotic, because they are basically overwhelmed with the amount of cases going through. Here it is. So it basically says, is this one a massive overreaction? This has felt strange from the start. Now I'm seeing clips of hospitals that are empty, despite the news being on 24 hours earlier saying that there were big queues. And YouTube search, empty hospitals, coronavirus covers many viruses, including common flu. I just want to stop anyone from resending this on, okay? I do have friends back in the UK who work for the NHS, and they've said it is a nightmare to cope with the amount of numbers that they are receiving. I have a family member who works for the health service here in Spain, and she's lucky to be in Murcia, not in the midst of Madrid. But she said, from what she has heard, it's just chaotic. But they are trying to get everything under control. The chaotic part was because it was all in one hospital, but now they have been moving these to emergency temporary hospitals. It's now getting easier to follow where everything is now going. So it's becoming better. So when you receive something like this, do some research. So my initial thought was, okay, empty hospitals. I'll do a bit of research. And actually what has come up, and the video that has been shared out, which was strange, is actually the same video that was shown on the news today of emergency bunkers from the army being made for ICU units. And they have put around 200 units or 200 ICU units in these emergency bunkers in the grounds of the army. And they're not even being used yet, yes, but it's only because they've only just finished them. So it's, again, I say this every single time when I receive some fake news, or news. I won't say fake news because some of it can be true, obviously. But before I receive any news, I like to do research, and you guys should too. Before passing on any information, before passing on any of these chain mails, do some research, do your own research, just Google it, YouTube it, and see what comes up. You'll be very surprised to see how much of this information has been manipulated to a sense that it's meant to shock you. So yeah, that's basically it. Right, and that's basically where we're going to be ending today's video. Now, we've got some other things that we can just quickly go through. Universities, if you are a university student here in Spain, I know majority of you guys are past university, but if you are, some universities are cancelling the school year, okay? This does not mean the primary schools or secondary schools are cancelling the school years yet. I reckon we will probably receiving this notification over the next month if it happens. But for the moment, some universities are closing the school year, but we shall see. And that's basically it. Now, yesterday I asked you what would be your advice. If you were 101 years old, what would be your advice? And we got so many different pieces of advice, and I loved every single one of them. But the main ones that I really liked was dance like no one is watching and sing like no one is listening. Love that. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Oh wow, it's raining at the moment. Can't take my dog out. Listen to your parents. They're the only ones they're the only ones just trying to help you, and they might not know what's best, but they are trying to support you. I really like that as well. Don't spend all your money from payday. Save for a rainy day. Well, it's raining today, and of course this could be your rainy day, especially with this lockdown. And look at the future, not your past. You can change your future, but you can't change your past. I love that. I thought that was really, really sweet there as well. So if you've got some advice, if you were 101 years old, what advice would you give me? But today's question, and I want you guys to comment your response, okay? I had a message through today from a loving wife of someone called Gary. And Gary Edwards, if you're watching this, happy birthday. She couldn't exactly celebrate your birthday in the way that you would like to. So Gary, if you're watching, happy birthday. And maybe you guys who are watching right now, if you just want to write happy birthday Gary, let's see how many happy birthdays we can get for him. And for anyone else who is watching on this day, especially the 2nd of April, and if it's your birthday, happy birthday. I really do mean that, and I really hope that you guys have the best day possible in these circumstances. But that's actually going to be your question of the day. This one is going to be your question, okay? You blow out your candles and you make a wish. What is your wish? That's going to be a good question of the day. I want to see what your wishes will be. You've just blown out the candles and you make a wish. What is your wish? That'd be a good one. All right, guys, that is it for today. Remember, 8 p.m. every single night, get out onto the balconies and get clapping. But in fact, today there is something different that the Spanish are going to be doing as well at 9 p.m. as well as the 8 p.m. Because it is National Autism Day here in Spain. At 9 p.m. they're also advising people to go out onto the balconies and give a round of applause as well for anyone who has autism or on the autistic spectrum as well. So again, if you guys are in support of this, share this video out with anyone possible, and yeah, just have a good day. Guys, I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. and that's basically it. Bye guys.